Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Mullane, and today I'd like to share with you the most common causes or reason that disc injuries occur, such as a disc bulge or disc herniation. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the most effective treatments to alleviate the problems associated with them. Now, disc injuries occur primarily due to two reasons: major trauma and minor trauma. Major trauma would be something along the lines of like a car accident or a fall, whereas minor trauma would be something like repetitive activities, such as sitting for long periods of time, turning, bending, twisting excessively. Those would all kind of fall under the category of minor trauma. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the disc and the anatomy behind it. So the disc, it separates the bones and acts as like a shock absorber. It keeps the bones from getting too close to each other or grinding and causing irritation. Essentially, kind of like shocks in your car, keeping it from absorbing too much pressure all at once. Now, it sits in a confined, specific area that it's supposed to be in, and there's a covering that surrounds it. So when you have an injury to the disc, let's say a disc bulge, let's start with that. The disc gets injured in a couple different ways. The disc bulge, the covering is still intact, but the disc is no longer sitting in its confined area. What's happening is bulging out into the surrounding tissue, whether it be the joints or the nerves or some of the other structures in that area. Now, the next step that can happen is it can go into a disc herniation. With a disc herniation, the covering is no longer intact. The covering around the disc has torn away, allowing that disc material to kind of go away from its confined area and again put pressure on the joints or the nerves and essentially cause pain and discomfort. So with these injuries, a disc herniation or disc bulge, you're going to have very common symptoms as pain. You're going to have muscle spasms or muscle tension and tightness. You're also going to have restricted motion. These are very common with injuries to the disc. Now, there's three effective treatments that we like to use in alleviating the problems associated with a disc injury. This being chiropractic spinal manipulation, electrical muscle stimulation, and intersegmental traction therapy. The first is chiropractic spinal manipulation. Now, what this does is it applies a specific manipulation to the area in the low back. It's going to alleviate the pressure onto the disc, essentially taking the pressure off of the nerves and the joints associated with that area. It's going to mean reduction of pain. It's going to allow for reduced muscle spasms and also going to allow you to move a little bit more freely during your activities. The second therapy I'd like to talk about is electrical muscle stimulation. Now, what this does is it applies a gentle electrical current to the area in the back that is affected or injured due to the disc injury. And it's going to reduce any inflammation, any swelling. It's going to take those muscles that are really, really tight and kind of help them relax and reduce the spasms associated with them. And also now you can move a little bit easier. And then finally, the intersegmental traction therapy. What this does is it essentially separates the joints away from another, allowing for more space for the disc material. Now, the disc will essentially reduce the pressure that's being placed on the surrounding tissue. It'll reduce pain, it'll reduce muscle spasms, and again, it's just going to help you move a little bit easier. So in summary, with those three therapies, the spinal manipulation, the electrical muscle stimulation, and the intersegmental traction therapy, those are going to be used in combination with each other, and they can help drastically reduce or stop pain. They can alleviate any muscle spasms, and they can allow for better range of motion. So what does this mean to you? It means a few things. It means that you're going to now be able to sleep throughout the night a little bit better. You're not going to wake up as frequently. You're going to be able to go to bed faster and just get a better night's rest. You're also going to be able to go to your job and do your activities there a little bit more freely without so many restrictions, without so many problems, and just essentially, perform better at work. And then finally, your daily activities such as getting up in the morning, getting dressed, playing with your kids, doing housework, all of these will be easier to be completed when you're not having the problems associated with the disc injury. So if you have a disc injury, whether it's a disc bulge or disc herniation or just any pressure into that area, please give us a call so that we can help you. You can call us at 803-599-5902.